Santanino. We were seeing the end of it when we were there a few days ago. And still many people were celebrating parades, carrying Santanino procession, very nice, beautiful deities, festivals and music, very nice. Celebrating Jesus, glorifying Jesus is wonderful. Right. I thought you were going to make a garden with pizzas. Right, it's yeah. Right, with pizzas. So, especially we see in the culture of India, which is generally understood to be the oldest religion in the world, the religion of India, even by Western calculation. And culturally speaking, not everyone agrees, but anthropologically, that means by studying the nature and the soils and what have you, calculating ages, the civilization of India does go back a lot further than any other, even with their calculation. When you have to bear in mind that basically there was no such thing as burial, everyone was cremated, buildings were made of mud, they didn't waste their time building like we do now, they did simply. But they had a high culture, very high culture, in terms of spiritual culture, in terms of human values, not in terms of material assets or technology, but in terms of character, human character, quality of life. Families, everything was very, very organized in that regard. Occupation, simple. Nowadays things are very complicated. Everything's very complicated. And we try to keep things simple, so more time is available for spiritual pursuit and for religious practice and for human behavior, cultivating good qualities. So they didn't leave behind what we look for most of the time, buildings made of, rocks or cement. They had those also. And they discovered, for instance, in the Sindhu Valley, they discovered clearly it's an educational institute, according to the scientists, the anthropologists, which is estimated to be between 7,000 and 8,000 years old by their calculations. Now that's a long time ago. And they see that the engineering and everything of that building was very advanced. The drainage, very advanced. So you can't say that there was no civilization there, that they were cave dwellers, forest dwellers, uncivilized, uneducated. It wasn't, everyone was that way. But there was a class of society who was very, very, very intelligent, advanced. Right. So, how did we get on to that? Festivals. Culture. Every culture has its festivals. So this is nothing new. In our line, in India, there are many different lines of practice. India is made up of at least 30 different nations, basically. All under one banner, working more or less together. And each one of them has their own uniqueness, their own cuisine. If anyone's traveled around India, you'll see that the cuisine of the south of India is radically different to, say, Punjab. You've been to Tamil Nadu?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from South India.
Which part?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad?
Yeah.
Telangana. What do you call it now? Telangana?
Telangana.
It used to be Andhra Pradesh. Now they made two states out of one, Telangana. Andhra. So there's the Telugu. They also have their own cuisine, you could say. And they have their own variety of rituals, their own worshipable deities. Other places have the same ones, but you'll see that there's changes, more emphasis. In Tamil Nadu, they worship more Lord Shiva, Murugan, Aman, like that. Not so much Krishna. There are temples of Krishna in Tamil Nadu, big ones, Sri Rangam. very big temple of Ranganath there, of Lord Vishnu lining. Many temples are also there, especially the older ones. In Tamil Nadu, you'll see some of the most beautiful temples in India. They were not destroyed so much by the Mughals or the Muslims when they invaded India. They didn't go there much. And then you get in Kerala, there are temples of Krishna there. Andhra Pradesh, there are many temples of Ramchandra, especially Nrsimhadev, Krishna also, especially Lord Nrsimhadev, Ramchandra, worship there. Other places in Gujarat, Krishna is very prominent, as well as, of course, Durga. And in northern India, many varieties. There's some places in Bengal, in Orissa, you see Lord Chaitanya, and Jagannath more. Everywhere different. They have very different. For a Bengali, very difficult if they, for instance, to live in Punjab. Where in Punjab, they like wheat. They like heavy, bread and heavy chickpeas. It's a very strong diet, lots of milk. Strong diet. No, not so much rice. In Bengal, they don't. They do now, but they would never eat wheat. It was all rice. Rice, and more rice. And Tamil Nadu also, rice, and more rice. We went for, I was on Padayatra in Tamil Nadu for some time in the early 90s. And every day it was rice and curry. They call it rasam, it wasn't even curry, it's just hot soup, soupy preparation. Rice and rasam, every day. And they're happy just eating rice in the villages. Then one day they said, today's a feast day. I thought, maybe we'll get some vegetables today. No, it was curd rice, tomato rice, tamarind rice, sweet rice, lemon rice, turmeric rice, plain rice, about 10 different rice preparations, and chutney, tamarind chutney, tomato chutney, coconut chutney, with some butter, fried butter, very nice butter. No vegetables at all. All rice and a few little things to go with it. That's a feast. Rice and more rice. If you did that someone in Bengal or so, and even Bengal, they like their vegetables there. And in Punjab especially, if you just gave them rice, they'd, what is this, Everywhere is different, But they've got all of their, and they recognize other festivals like Shivratri, Janmashtami. These festivals are celebrated everywhere in different degrees, of course. Ram Navami, different degrees. Just like now the Ram temple is open in Ayodhya, and not everyone agrees, but throughout the whole of India people were celebrating. It wasn't just Ram, everyone accepts Ram as one of the gods at least. He's very popular because he could say he was a little bit more human, a little bit more down to earth in some ways. In some ways, not in other ways, but the Battle of Lanka is definitely superhuman in a cycle. Something people dream about or put on some, fictional movies or something, but it's a reality. But they're just on a higher level of capacity, ability, and mystic power and everything else. So we have our festivals too. Many festivals. In fact, Prabhupada said, we're not ready, but he said, I could give you a festival every day of the year to celebrate. But we have some selected ones, prominent. In our annual calendar, what would be the most prominent festival, would you say? I'm talking to devotee Vaishnava. What's the most prominent one? Just Vaishnava, let's say Vaishnava in general. In general, Janmashtami, okay. Krishna's birthday, probably amongst all Vaishnavas, I'm not saying everywhere, but probably the most popular Janmashtami. Almost everyone celebrates Janmashtami, and even many Muslim people celebrate Janmashtami too. They also, honor it because they're all that with part of their culture, and India, their religion. What are another famous festival amongst most Hindus in general? Pardon? Louder? Not necessarily, no. That's specific. That's Gaudiya Vaishnava. No one else celebrates that. In the whole of India, no one celebrates. They do celebrate that day, but it's not Gopani. They have another name for it. Holi is a holy festival on the same day as Gopani. And for most people, that's the festival of colors, and very interesting festival. We'll get to that. It is a festival. It's not so much of a. It's a little different. It's more of a party festival. It's not like, a worship festival. It's more of a party. Like Christmas, to most people, it's become like a party rather than a worship. But worship, days of worship. What will be next? Janmashtami is definitely one. There are 2 or 3 others. Diwali. Throughout the whole of India, practically everyone celebrates Diwali, right? Right from Tamil Nadu to Punjab to Bengal, everyone celebrates Diwali. It may be the biggest, in fact. It has many purposes. It's not just Vaishnava, this, that. There are many historical claims to that day. It's mostly related to Lord Ramchandra. But everyone celebrates that. Throughout the whole, it's a national holiday. They make it a national holiday in Malaysia, a Muslim country. They made Diwali a national holiday. They know it's a Muslim country by government. Many countries recognize it. In England, they celebrate it in the Houses of Parliament, Diwali. British government celebrates Diwali to recognize the Hindu community. Many of the members of the government are Hindus, including the Prime Minister. So, it's becoming known all over the world. Diwali is known all over the world. I think even in America, many places, they have a holiday on Diwali now. It's probably the main one amongst the Hindus, Diwali, probably. Another one which is really big, maybe even bigger than Janmashtami, many. You know what that is? Shivaratri. Very, very big. Festival. We honor it. We don't make a big thing of it, but we certainly honor it. The Shivaratri is another big one. And there are others too. But those 3 come to mind, probably the main ones, and maybe a few others you think of. Then there's the more local ones, and then those of particular religious movements. Like in Gaudiya Vaishnava, you've already mentioned 2. Rath Yatra doesn't mean anything in itself, because it could be, Rath Yatra means literally, a chariot festival. It could be a chariot festival for anyone. They might have a chariot festival for a musician or a cricket player or anybody. It's not definitive. So we call Jagannath Rath Yatra. But that is very well known in Orissa and in Bengal and a few other states. But in most of India, Jagannath Rath Yatra is almost unheard of, right? Jagannath. They have their own Rath Yatras. They had just now the installation of the deity in Ayodhya. In Paris, they had a Ram Rath Yatra. The Hindu community, thousands of them came together for a Ram Rath Yatra. They didn't really have a Rath Yatra quite the way we do, but on the back of the truck they had pictures of effigy of Ramchandra, and they went to different spots around the city. So that could be any deity. It could be Aman, Shiva, it could be whatever, Lakshmi Narayan, Ramchandra, Rath Yatra. So that's the Gaudiya Vaishnava, Jagannath Rath Yatra. You mentioned another one, Gaur Purnima. What other festivals do go? Let's look at Vaishnavas in general, and then Gaudiya Vaishnava. What festivals do Vaishnavas in general celebrate? That means devotees of Krishna. What do they celebrate? We've mentioned a few. Pardon? Well, we kind of mentioned Ram. So Ram Navami, yes. We mentioned Gaur Purnima already. Radhastami, okay. Not all of them celebrate that. They don't do that, Radharani. Gaudiya Vaishnavas do. Madhva Sampradaya. Pardon? Yeah, not everyone celebrates that. That's, again, a little bit limited. But yeah, you could say that about all, really. I suppose you could say it in one sense. Because Vaishnavas very intensely in their style of worship. Many of the festivals we observe are more related to, let's say, spontaneous devotional service rather than Aishvarya or reverential service. For instance, in South India, the Sri Sampradaya is very, very, very popular amongst Vaishnavas. In Tamil Nadu, in Andhra Pradesh also, Sri Vaishnavas are very popular. And if you go to Karnataka, everywhere overlapping is there. You find the Madhava Sampradaya, very popular. The Brahma Madhava Sampradaya, very popular. Both those Sampradayas worship Krishna, but they worship Krishna more in the form Lakshmi Narayan. And it's very reverential. Do you know reverential? Very ritualistic worship. It's not very spontaneous. It's very ritualistic. A lot of rules, regulations, wonderful principles, very devotional in that sense, but it's very reverential and very impressive. Lord Chaitanya very much, spent time there and appreciated their worship and especially their service to devotees and so on. And Srila Prabhupada also, Tirupati, which is in Andhra Pradesh, is one of the main seats of the Sri Sampradaya, beautiful temple on the mountain. And their Prabhupada said, we should go there and learn. We should go there and learn how to look after guests. Very, for what it is, very, very expertly done, organized. Anyone can go there free of charge. There's a place for you to stay. There's free prasadam for tens of thousands of people at any time. And there's nice chalets and bungalows if you want to rent at a very cheap price. It's very organized, the darshan, everything organized. Everything's there, free dispensaries, so many things. Organized to receive your guests very nicely. The brother said we should learn from them. He said for them to go to the other end of the country. You go to Punjab. Punjab is mixed. You've got a lot of Sikh people there, you've got a lot of Hindus also, Muslims also. You go to Amritsar, the famous main place of the Sikhs, but there's crowds said, wow, we should learn from them also. The way they're serving prasadam and the way they prepare prasadam, they have their own prasadam, they have their own offerings. They distribute fantastic prasadam in a super organized way. Tons and tons of it. You go to Puri, which is on another corner in Orissa, and there you see a Jagannath temple. Every day there's lorries all the time lining up to take Jagannath prasadam all over the place. They prepare prasadam by the ton. They don't just make a little offering on the altar and everyone scrabbles for a remnant. They're preparing like it's the biggest kitchen in the world apparently. Jagannath. They're preparing tons of prasadam round the clock. 54 times a day or something like that they offer. Tons of prasadam. So they say that Lord Jagannath's thing hands yet in funny. But we have, but we can't see them. They're always wet. He's either taking prasadam or washing up after, then another meal comes in front of him. They don't get any time to stop. Eating, I'm sure some of us wish we could do that too, but we can't. One at the back there, that greedy young man at the back there. Gluttonous fellow. So anyway, everywhere's a little different. They have a different order of serving prasadam. Some places sweets are served first. Sometimes savors are served first. Sometimes rice is served first. Sometimes rice is served last. Sometimes you have to give, some curry first. Sometimes you don't give it all. You sit down and I think, is it Gujarat or something? You sit there and you wonder, what's going on here? There's no rice or what? Then if you've finished everything else, only then do they bring the rice around. You're like full up to here, think that's all there was. And other place, if you don't put the rice there to begin with, no one starts eating anything. They can't eat a thing. You go to Bengal, the rice isn't there straight away. They're fasting. It's a fast day. They cannot eat anything without rice. And they don't eat little amounts, they eat mountains of rice. They have this unique capacity to digest rice like an elephant. Little tiny shrimp, Tiny little shrimp. The guy's tiny. And he's eating like 2 or 3 kilos of rice. Easily. With hot curry. No problem. I don't know what they do with it. But it goes in. Everyone's got their own uniqueness and festivals. What other festivals? Govardhan Puja is celebrated by many Vaishnavas. Not just in Gujarat, but in many other places. But it is a little specific to those who are worshippers of Krishna, and especially those who are worshipping Radha Krishna. But the Nimbarka Sampradaya, they also very much celebrate Govardhan Puja. Very much. Nanda Sampradaya, I don't know. Sri Sampradaya, probably not. But it'd be known, they know about it. They know about Lord Chaitanya. They just don't worship him in the same way. So we have tons of festivals throughout the year. So many wonderful festivals. You go on and on. The list is unending. Different pastimes of Krishna that took place on that day. Personalities who appeared in the world. Avatars of the Lord. We mentioned Ramchandra. Someone mentioned Nrsingadeva. And of course Krishna himself. And Lord Chaitanya. And there are many others, honored all over India. Different places they honor differently. Some parts of India they worship Kalki. They worship Kalki's appearance. And some worship Parashuram. There's some place, especially in Kerala, they worship Parashuram. And some place they worship Lord Varaha. There are many temples of Lord Varaha. A big festival on his appearance day. Vamanadev. I don't know many temples of Vamanadev, maybe. But I'm sure many people worship. We do. We honor the day. Different avatars of the Lord. So we also have festivals on the appearance day of great devotees, or on their disappearance day. So in next month, February, I don't know the exact date, towards the end of the month, is a very special festival for members of the, not even the Gaudiya Vaishnava, but the members of the Gaudiya Vaishnava line coming in the last, say, in the line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, particularly since Bhaktisiddhanta. So that's not very long ago. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj appeared exactly 150 years ago this year. He appeared in 1874 in Jagannath Puri. So this February, he appeared in February the 2nd that year. But this year is later because the calendar is not this year with Purushottam. Calendar is very late this year. So it's towards the end of February this year that we'll be honoring his appearance date. And it's the 150th anniversary. So many devotees will be honoring Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's 150th appearance anniversary. It'll be very big. And the Gaudiya Math, it's like the biggest festival in 50 years in one sense. It's like he is like the he is the founder of Shara of the Gaudiya Math. We're also a limb of the Gaudiya Math. But we don't honor it so exclusively as many of the other members of the Gaudiya Math may do. But we should do in one sense. But because we have founder of Shara as Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whom is obviously more prominent in most devotees' life, directly speaking. So we honor that generally more. But this year, in ISKCON, it's also requested, the GBC have already issued a directive to the movement that gorgeous festivals should be held for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's appearance day. 150th anniversary. So please try to do something nice here. Where's the boss? Not the boss. In Bengal, they call everyone the boss. Any white person's the boss. Boss. Hey, boss. Where's the boss? Where?
Behind you.
Indravali.
Behind you.
Where is she? Indravali? You have to make a gorgeous festival for Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj this year, okay? 150th anniversary. Now, that will never occur again. Not this time. So make it very nice, huh? So, don't just make a little thing. Do something, advertise it, make a nice arrangement, a beautiful Vyasa stand for Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. On that day, you take Prabhupada off of his Vyasa stand. Prabhupada sits low, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj sits on the Vyasa stand, Prabhupada's on now, and you put a small Vyasa stand, small, not that small, I mean smaller, just to Prabhupada. Because on that day, he'll be worshipping Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj with all of his heart. He would be, I mean, you know the story one time when Prabhupada didn't have much time with his Guru Maharaj, but one time he went to Vrindavan when his Guru Maharaj was on Brooklyn, in a place called Koshi. I think it was Koshi somewhere. And Prabhupada wasn't familiar with the, let's say, the etiquette, particularly at that point in time. He wasn't even initiated. And the room was crowded, and there was no single place to sit. But Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was sitting on like a plinth, a platform. And Prabhupada went and sat right on the same level as the Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. And then after a while he realized, it was wrong. So then, he was very embarrassed. But the Guru never sits on the same I mean, in some managerial situations, in some practical situations, you see Prabhupada sitting on the same level in the airport, for instance, with his disciples. So that's how the chair arrangement is. But in, let's say, any normal formal situation, the disciple always sits lower as a church master. Prabhupada would never sit on the same level as the Guru Maharaj. So on that day particularly, they make, as best we can, gorgeous arrangements, advertise it, have a day of remembrance and glorification of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. It's a great chance. Bring everyone together. You can even invite persons who don't normally come, because they go to your mountain will have their own festivities. They won't come anyway if you invite them. But others too. Try to put aside differences, put aside, whatever it may have been, and put the Acharya in the center. As you may know, Prabhupada said, the secret is to put the Acharya in the center, not to put our own particular thing in the center. The Acharya. How the Acharya would want. Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, one of his main desires was actually to unite all Vaishnavas, not just Gaudiya, all Vaishnavas. That's why he built one temple, the dominant temple in Mayapur. You'll see it, the four Sampradaya temples. There's in Barka, Vishnu Swami, and Madhvacharya, and Ramanujacharya. They're all there. They all got their, representation, their altar, their deities there in the temple, on the four corners, four Sampradaya temple. Bhajana, the center of the Gaudiya Master, they have this four Sampradaya. He wanted the Sampradayas to, they have their own differences, but to unite and spread pure devotional service throughout the world. It's not my pure devotional service is better than your pure devotional service. And we're going to fight against you because you're pure devotion. You're not surrendering to us. You're not surrendering to us. You're our enemy. That's not Krishna. You may have differences, and obviously you may keep apart in certain areas because you have different rituals, different inspiration. So, but the principle is the same. We're all the eternal servants of Krishna, and our life is meant for that purpose. So there's nothing unbecoming. If someone takes shelter of the Sri Sampradaya, it's a glorious thing to do. Although we're not interested in doing that, because Lord Chaitanya has given us something even sweeter. Given us a chance to go on to a spontaneous, loving, devotional service leading to prema. There's no prema as such in the Sri Sampradaya, it's reverential, Aishwarya Bhava. So they have their festivals too. Ramanujacharya's appearance day, the massive one, of course, goes on for days. For days on end. His disappearance day even more than the appearance. So it's not either one today, but I'm just saying it's your 150th anniversary this year in February of Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's birth. So we're going to sing a song. It's related to that. That's another reason I sing this. When I opened the book, I thought, okay, that's it. Because the night before he left the planet, he requested one of his leading disciples, Sridhar Maharaj, to sing this song, Sri Rupa Manjari. The night before, he requested another of his leading disciples to sing Sikshastika. These two songs, bhajans, prayers, whatever, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj wanted to hear, to absorb himself in. Now it's not surprising because we have a prayer here at the beginning of the songbook. Here. Namaste Moravani Srimate Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruda Apasanta Vandaharne. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are the personified teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Now, who is the personified teaching of Lord Chaitanya? Other than Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj?
Rupa Goswami.
Rupa Goswami. And that's why we're all called Rupanugas, those who follow in the line of Rupa Goswami. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is here being praised as that same personification of the teachings of the Lord Chaitanya. You are the deliverer of the fallen souls. You do not tolerate any statement which is against the teachings of devotional service enunciated by Rupa Goswami. The intimate follower of his name, of course, was Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj in the spiritual realm. Who is he? Bhaktisiddhanta. Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Who is he? Do you remember? No. No. That's the Goswami. Bhakti Manjari. Raghunath Das. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was Kamala Manjari. I'm just trying to recollect. Kanaka Manjari or slipped my mind. I forgot myself. But maybe one of you could remember. But he's a Manjari, and he's one of the intimate associate or servant. Kamala Manjari, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is the intimate servant. It goes like this. There's a distinct succession there. They're all servants of Rupa Goswami. They're her assistants, or his in this story. When Rupa Manjari, who is the number one aide de camp, you could say, in the leaders' party, comes into this world, he comes in what's called the Sadhaka route, a form which looks material, human. No, it looks like that. And he performs practical activities of the sadhaka nature to teach others how to come to the highest perfection. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, in the same vein, exactly the same teaching, is doing just like that. So in this song, which we sing, we hear, and this was compiled by Narottam Das, who's also a Manjari, and this was Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj's favorite song. He's written a song. There's one song in here, the Sampradaya, it's the glorification of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, or not just the Gaudiya, the Vaishnava Sampradaya back to Lord Brahman. And he sings this song glorifying all the acharyas back to Lord Brahman. We don't sing that very long. So we'll sing this one, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Are you ready? Everyone ready?
Yes. Yes.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Yadbhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami. I think it's 9 of them. 9 of them. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachari Devasesha Dhanyavade Vasijade Shatane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari Devasesha Dhanyavade Vasijade Shatane Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasade Gaura Bhaktavedanta Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Nate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tina Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina Jnanatirasya Janananda Akho Vandaritayena Tasmai Om Jnanatirasya Janananda Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Prabhupada ki Goswami Prabhupada Rishi Panchatattva or brain or Shri Guru and Shri Guru Haribo. Quickly read the translation and we're going to go back and get ready to go. So this song on Narottam Das Thakur, the lotus feet of Shri Rupa Manjari. Rupa Goswami is the eternal form of the Gopi of Rash. On my real wealth. We look for wealth. Some devotee I was talking to today said there's two things that people really, find reasons to undermine others or to fight with others over. And one of them is certainly wealth, isn't it? Most of the wars in the world are fought over wealth. So-called wealth. Property, literary money, gold, and proprietorship, in other words. Proprietorship. And the other is a little bit more, you could say, sensual. Very common also. Fighting over sex. Attraction to a girl or a boy. Fighting. People kill each other over this. Wars are fought over this also. Quarrels, dissension, people's lives are ruined. Everyone's probably experienced at different degrees of this in their lives. These two illusions. I am the enjoyer and I am the proprietor. These two illusions. And people think if I acquire, if you're a man, that is, wealth and women, my life is successful. The woman I want, or women I want. And wealth, no end of wealth. You never have enough. Even if you have $1 billion, it's always not enough. It's the unique thing about these particular objectives, so to speak, is that you're never satisfied. Even if you have the woman of your dreams, you're not satisfied. Even if you have all the wealth and honor in the world, you're still not satisfied. Admire. And still we're aspiring, and still we try. We're not striving. We keep doing this lifetime after lifetime. We never learn our lessons. We think the real wealth lies in material acquisition or material enjoyment. All of our studies for that reason. Even our behavior to try to impress others, to get our goals. Still we're not satisfied. Because everyone's doing the same thing. So everyone's like, cutting. We're going to cut each other's throats if you're getting in my way. I will find fault in you somehow or another. Rumor, better false story. Something like in English we say, give a dog a bad name and hang it. The material world is like this practically. But here we see the real wealth is not that. There's a quick story I'll tell. One great devotee who's a very close associate of Radhanath Swami before he joined Hare Krishna movement. He was living in Vrindavan as a sadhu, from America. And he was one of his closest friends, a senior devotee who was like teaching him and guiding him. His name was Ganesham. He was a local Babaji there, basically living in Vrindavan. And he lived so austerely, he slept on the stone floor, he never even had a sheet. He lay on the floor and slept. He would eat only what people gave him, and generally it was just chapatis. And Janananda said he never even saw him eat it. He said, no, I'm eating so much. So he said, Radhanath saw he would put it into the cupboard. So he opened up this cupboard in the wall. He was living in someone's courtyard, temple courtyard. He had his deities in a hole in the wall. With like a cupboard with little things in it. So one day he opened the cupboard and all the chapatis all piled up there. He wouldn't eat them. They're practically not eating. He would never accept service from anyone, even though he was old. He never accept service. Absolutely incredible renunciate devotee of the Lord. But when eventually, he would never say where he came from or how he ended up there. We'd never talk about it. But one day, one lady, and also, sadly, she the elderly lady, and she started living nearby, renunciate. She spoke English also. She also spoke English. And Radha saw her, and it appeared that there was something going on there between, not sexual anyway, but they seemed to know each other. And he asked her what's going on. He said, actually, we were married before, many, many moons ago. I've just renounced my whole life. Come to Vrindavan. So many years ago, decades ago, they were married. He said, well, they were, yeah. And she said, when he was very young, he was actually, Janananda, she said, was the prince of the kingdom in Rajasthan. He was to be the next king. And one day his father, the king and the queen, and he and I, we all came to Vrindavan for pilgrimage. When we were here, we fell in love with Vrindavan. And he decided never to leave. His parents did everything they could to get him to leave Vrindavan. He wouldn't leave. And then she said, but actually, last chance he got. The father said, look, son, if you don't come to your senses and now come with us back to Rajasthan to be the next king, you will be a poverty-stricken beggar for your whole life. Don't you realize that? And the Jananda's son looked at him and said, we picked up one grain of dust from Vrindavan. And he said, you see this grain of dust? This one grain of dust in Vrindavan is more valuable than all the wealth of the universe. What do I care about a petty kingdom in Rajasthan? That's the last result. So you don't realize that the real wealth is not what we see with these mundane eyes. Something within. They are the object of my bhajan, puja. They are the treasure of my heart. As Prabhupada said the instructions of his spiritual master is life and soul. And they're my ornaments and the life of my life. They're all that matters to me. It's all the charity. And my spiritual master's instructions are all that matter. I don't care if I suffer. The only important thing is to follow the instructions of my spiritual master. They are the reservoirs of all rasa for me and the fulfillment of all my desires. They don't even ask for anything. Every single thing is fulfilled. All perfections are attained by dedicating oneself to the instructions of the spiritual master. They are the conclusion of the religion of the Vedas for me and the goal of all my vows, austerities, and the chanting of my mantra. They're the goal to follow those instructions. They are the purpose of all my religious activity. By the power of those feet, my activities will become favorable to devotion. This completely takes shelter of the spiritual masters, and our life becomes spiritual perfection will be achieved. And with these two eyes, I should be able to actually see. We can't see like that. When we come before the deity, we maybe hopefully some attraction. We can't actually see Krishna as such. But Krishna is seeing us. He's the seer, we are the seen. He's seeing us, he's seeing our hearts, he's seeing our intentions, he's seeing how we behave with each other, how we behave in every way. He's noting how we behave, what is our attitude, everything. The exquisite beauty of Sri Rupa Manjara's divine feet will shine like the brilliant full moon upon the lotus of my heart, both day and night, thus giving relief to my afflicted soul. By the venom of the snake of separation from you has enfeebled my soul. No, something wrong there, maybe but the venom. But the venom of the snake of separation from you has enfeebled my soul. And my life is ever afflicted and distressed. This feeling of separation from that affection of life, to take shelter of the lotus feet of Rupa Manjari, to take shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master's instructions, etc. There's a burning pain of separation, to be separated from that personality. And this intensifies our devotion. O Rupa Manjari, please be merciful and give me the shade of your lotus feet. Narottam Das has taken refuge. Shri Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. We have to go upstairs now. Finish off the packing. And there are some devotees coming with us tonight, I believe, to Malaysia. Are they here? No, they're Raman is here. Where's the rest of the party? Are they here? Where's Braj? Getting ready probably. Braj Vishwa. Where's Jagat on the altar. He's worshipping the deity just before we leave. I hope he's going to be ready. We want to leave. What time are we leaving? Are you driving us, Adi? What time are we leaving? How long will it take you to get to Terminal 3? Terminal 3, isn't it? I think it is. Terminal 3 is the closest, right? Closest.
More or less 20 minutes.
At this time of night, it should be okay. Should be slow. So let's say 30 at utmost. So as long as we're there by 10:30, we're fine, right? If we're there by 10:30, we're okay. So if we leave just before 10 o'clock, we still have a bit of time. Just before 10 o'clock. Is that okay? Everything should be in the car before 10. Good. So one question, if anyone wants to ask. Where's Kavi? Kavi! Huh? There he is. Haribol, Kavi. Haribol. Jamuna or Soda? Is Soda or Jamuna? Jamuna. Haribol, Jamuna. Jamuna.
Hare Krishna.
He doesn't know where the sound's coming from. Jamuna. Haribol. Haribol. Hare Krishna. And everybody else, thank you all very much for your association. Try to work together with Prabhupada in the center. Come or another, try to help everyone to take shelter of the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, serve Radha Madhava and Panchatattva. Try to put their desire in the center. Try to work, as Prabhupada said, cooperatively together as much as we can. It doesn't mean we're all the same. Everyone's individual, we all have a uniqueness. But learning how to work together, how to encourage each other to become more and more selfless, more Krishna conscious. Yeah. Hare Krishna, everybody. If you're hanging around for a little while, we'll be coming downstairs again. But please give us at least 45 minutes to get ourselves together now. Is that okay? And then we'll see what happens in 45 minutes' time if we're ready. We do have to look at the bags, the handbags of the other devotees. Have you bought a handbag, Ramani? Ramani, you have like a handbag, or what do you have? Let's see it.
And then other,
Small? Is that it there?
and then the other one.
How many bags do you have? You're only allowed one, isn't it? Are they allowed two?
In the cabin?
Yeah, in the cabin. They can be quite strict sometimes. I hope it'll be okay, because our check-in bags, we've already filled it up. It's already 20 kilos. And we've got 4 check-in bags. We'll be taking huge amounts of books to Malaysia. About 50 kilos of French books are on their way to Malaysia. Malaysia. Nobody speaks French there. This is the French embassy for some French tourists. But we're getting lots of young French people staying on our farm, so they want books for the French volunteers on the farm. Yeah, more than anything else, they have the volunteers. And many of them become devotees. So we need books for them. They join in Malaysia, not in France. When you're there, maybe you should go up to the farm if there's any French people up there and preach. Speaking French, they'll be amazed. We have to find out if there's any there. They don't. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. So if you check your bags, we don't want to have trouble at the airport. I'm wearing a coat, I'm stuffing 5 kilos of luggage in my coat. Sometimes I carry 10 or 15 kilos in my coat alone. You have to wear some jacket or some coat, and you can put all the heavy stuff in there. Car towels, power banks.
You're really recount.
Yeah, I know that, you rascal. We've got like 1,000 yoga lyric cards in our bag. Those have left them in Paris. The address of the Paris preaching center. We're carrying them all over the world now. And you can give them out to the people on the farm if there's any French people. Time to give them to their French friends. Yeah, so when we say, what is it, one bag?
I didn't see. I
Didn't check.
find out.
We have to check it. They can and they may not be. I'm not saying they will either, but sometimes they can be a little fussy about that. Sometimes. There's a way around that, usually, and I don't know what Manila's like, it's when they check in that they check you. You don't need to check in. You have what one of you does, because one of the bags is on whose name? Is it on your name or whose name? The 20 kilo one, whose name? On your personal name. So are you all booked on the same ticket? So when you check in, and they'll do that, and then they take your handbags to see how heavy they are. Okay? So what we do is, we have a secret here. We check in first, we three, and then we take your handbags and go away in a corner. When you've been doing this for 50 years, you get used to all the tricks. You used to, don't tell anyone this, but they used to have the wave thing, and actually, you can't do it now, it's covered. But they used to be open, the thing would go like this. And if you put your foot underneath it, you could push it up with your foot. So, although it's 30 kilos, it only shows 20. Your foot's under there pushing the thing up in the air. You're going to all the tricks. You can't do it anymore. I think they realized that many people were doing this. It was more than 20 kilos. Try it again. Must be wrong, right? It's 20 kilos. Anyway, you can't do that anymore. I hope nobody from the airport's listening to this. Anyway, we hope we don't have to do that. It's for Krishna. Many people do this, by the way. You see them all unpacking at the airport, stuffing things in their handbags, giving it to other people. Half the people checking in, especially flights to India or like that. This was later. You go to India, everyone's finding ways of taking more luggage. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. It's very warm over there, by the way. You don't have to wait. The accommodation is free. You've got mosquito nets. You've got facilities to cook your own meals if you want. No, don't worry about that. Everyone's fees are paid for. Yeah, you take a jacket in the plane, and that's where you put all your luggage in the jacket. All the heavy things, stuff the heavy. If you've got, one thing very important, if you listen carefully to this, Ramani, if you have a knife, scissors, any sharp object, you give it to us as soon as possible. They will not let you on with it in your handbag. And if they find that in there, which they will, they'll take your bags to pieces, they'll question you, they'll mark you. So if you have any sharp object in your bag, a knife or scissors, and if you have any liquid, if you have any, this stuff, whatever it's called, things like that, or liquid soap, you cannot take it on board. You have to give it to us. You have to make that clear to everyone. The thing is, we all know this, but we forget. You have to be reminded. Right? Did you forget? Somebody forgot. When we came, somebody had something in their bag. And then they really make you hold you up and really give you a hard time sometimes. So make sure you check the things. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.